learned a lot. I've started believing in myself. And the most important thing is that I have built the network, the needed network. Not forgetting there's this issue of chama that was raised recently. I was able to convince my mother to add me to 2 chamas, and I'm ready to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sabuke. You're ready to get those finances to really support in your election journey. So thank you so much for that, and thank you for sharing with us. Jim.
Thank you.
Jemima, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jemima Tata.
I truly appreciate Fawe for this opportunity, and also I wish I met you like 10 years or 5 years ago. I think I could be in the politics now, and I'm so grateful. And what I'm taking away today is that everything is possible, so long as I talk to myself, I have a with myself, I know exactly what I want, and make a strategic plan of getting what I want. And also, after winning that seat, it's not for Jemima, it's not for Miss President, Mombasa County, it's for the entire community. And my work is not to promise people heaven and big things for me to be on that seat, but to know that my work is to make policies which will influence the impact in their lives, and also to oversight on the funding in that community. Thank you so much.
Good.
I'm looking forward for 2022. Thank you,
Jemima, and we are happy to have you here, and all that you have been able to share with us also in terms of just mainstreaming women with disability and pushing them into those political spaces. So we are so excited, and thank you so much for sharing also your personal journey. The next on my list here is Susan.
Thank you, and I just want to say that I'm a disability mainstreaming trainer in case somebody has an institution or maybe you need trainings on disability. I'm always there. I've trained institution, KRA, Kenya Ferry, and Kenya Airways and others. So don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Jemima, get in touch with the Honorable Kwanda. She will network you. Honorable Kwanda will network you.
Thank you.
And even Hasina, Hamisa, Saja will also network you, and I think you are able to communicate.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Asina, you're next. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Rachel. And
you
thank
have 1
you,
minute.
Yes, thank you. Basically, I have to appreciate that all the modules were important to me. I leave the academy more and more educated, and that the one thing that I'm taking home is this thing about engaging men. Basically, I used to see men as enemies. I used to see men as enemies, but through this academy now, I see men as partners. And so I'm going to network with men and look for men who are willing to join me in this journey. And I assure you that in 2022, I'll be the area MCA for Makindu Ward.
Absolutely. Wow, absolutely. That's very good to hear. That's
just already declared her goal.
Strategic.
She will be the MCA. That's the goal.
Being strategic and just being able to map out your partners and your strategies to really work in the community. So thank you so much, Asina. We thank you for sharing that with us. Next, I can see Nancy Okademi. The floor is yours. Nancy Okademi? Yes.
Thank you, Tina. I think, thank you, Rachel. I will request for 2 minutes as I because I just came in. Then I will.
That's fine.
I will. Thank you.
Gladys Nyabochoa, the floor is yours, Gladys. And then we have Eunice Jepchumba. Gladys, please go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Gladys.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be part of this great team, Fawe. Actually, it came during the right time. I'd planned, I was aspiring for the seat of Kisi County Women Representative. So we have learned a lot, lessons. I remember Honorable Mwa, anaitwaje Mwa? Teaching us about communication skills.
Mutomi.
Mudomi, yes, teaching us about communication skills, how we can communicate well, what people want to hear. So actually,
Gladys, you're on mute. Kindly unmute.
Gladys, sorry, unmute. Gladys, kindly unmute.
Thank you. Maybe somebody did it for me.
Sorry. Please go ahead. Sorry for that. Please go ahead.
So actually, the academy came at the right time. So we have, I have really learned a lot as a woman. Let's use what we learned, so we implement it on the real ground, on the actual ground. Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Gladys, and thank you also for sharing your story, because one very important aspect about such an academy is learning from each other and picking out experiences from other participants. So really, we learned a lot from you, and we thank you so much for sharing with us. Eunice Jepchumba, you're next, and then we have Lily Ochola after Winnie. Jepchumba, the floor is yours.
Yeah, yes, Rachel.
Yes, please go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you very well.
Okay. I want to take this opportunity first to thank you for coming up with this noble idea of academy for aspirants. And I want to say I've learned a lot through your engagement, the sessions, and when I came across the strategic plan, I was also, though it was very hard, but I was learning a lot through it, and I'm encouraged. I'm very much ready to go for it, for the seat. In fact, I'm now guided, and I can very much make my speech, which I was worried about. And I simply say I'm ready for it.
Thank you.
It's timely.
Whoa, thank you so much, Eunice. Thank you so much. And we're here, the facilitators are here, and they're ready to support and work with all the participants, even in the action planning and the plan that Barasa really took us through, and Terry, and they're here. Just feel free to reach out to them and be able to allow them to walk with us through this journey. So thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your journeys, and for really opening up your stories to us to also learn from you. Really appreciate that. Honorable Nancy, I can see you're now ready to go. Please go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I think I have now settled down, and I can now go.
Yes, please.
And thank you very much, Rachel and Fawe, for this opportunity. Myself, I can say that it was a great honor to also be part of this noble initiative of an academy. I have been in politics, but I have served from 2017 to now 2022 next year. But I have not, whatever I've learned in this academy is something that I am sure I could not have learned it anywhere in the practice. Sometimes you can also get the real experience, but there is also some practical and theory that will skip your mind, or maybe it's not applicable in your areas. Mostly, I can say I learned more from Martha Karua on aspects of like trying to encourage me to proceed, and also telling me that it's not all about money; it's about what you're selling. And I can say it's easier to campaign for someone and like putting yourself into the ballot. Because last in 2017, I'm in Busia County Assembly because I campaigned for 7, but 3 made it in Waipa ticket in Busia County. So that is why I'm in the county assembly. But it's not easy to also put yourself there. So I am in this academy to be encouraged to go for it, because I was planning to go for the Senate in 2022. And when I came in, I had not settled if I'm going for Senate or an MTA seat. But as that now, I am now settled with a seat that I'm going to vie in. That is the Senator at Busia County in 2022. And I am sure that I will be the next Senator of Busia County. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, Honorable Nancy. And you want to really appreciate you. Please, let's have our videos on and just appreciate the speakers who've spoken before us and the participants who've really shared with us and given us their feel about the academy. We appreciate you. We value you. We are your supporters. Please don't forget we are your #1 supporters. Please reach out to us. Let's walk this journey. Let's engage our facilitators. They are open and ready. They've said they want to work with all of us in this journey. So allow me to hold that thought there. If you have not shared with us, please don't feel left out. Of course, we will keep doing this over and over again so that we also have a feel in terms of how much we have been able to engage together. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me now to invite our guest speaker, Kentis Tikolo, who is an expert in communication. I know one of our modules in the academy is communication, branding, PR, and how to really package ourselves as women going to vie in those political seats. So we want to invite Kentis. Kentis, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes,
oh,
I am.
There you are. There you are. Please, we want to allow you to go ahead and just share with us. Colleagues, please have your videos on. Our guests might feel like they are by themselves. Please, if possible, if it's okay with you, kindly have your videos on. And Kentis, the floor is yours. Please, these are 35 participants coming up from different parts of the country. And we have been going through the Women in Political Participation Academy from Monday, and today is our day 5. So we have a different mix of participants. We have those who have vied before and who are in those political seats like Honorable Okademi. We have those who vied before, made it, and maybe didn't make it again in a second election, and now they want to go for the third and the second time. And so, then we have a team of young aspirants who are very young, between 18 to 35, who've never been in those political positions, who've had those aspirations, and they feel like after this academy then has given them a lot of knowledge in terms of how they really can go about it. So we have a mix of participants, and of course in the room we have women with disability who feel like it is time to have them on those decision-making tables so that their voice can be heard. So thank you so much, and we really appreciate you for finding time to be with us. And we're looking forward to listening and hearing from you. So please go ahead. The floor is yours. You have 20 minutes. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Rachel, for this opportunity. 20 minutes, oh my God. I'll try.
Would you want more time?
I want to say that, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Kentis Tikolo. I'm a scientist by background, my initial background. But then while on the bench, while doing science on the bench at the then ILRAD, now ILRI, I just realized that there was a major gap between, what the scientists were doing and the people for whom they were doing that science. And the gap for me was communication. So that's how I ended up in communication. And over time, I now have over 25 years experience in communication. And over time, what I have realized is that a lot of people take communication for granted. We imagine that communication is speaking, so long as you can talk, that is communication. And unfortunately, that is not true. In fact, effective communication is what will make the difference between you winning that seat and you not winning that seat. It's absolutely a critical skill. And men have really found a way of going into this space. Now, remember, in any case, men are ahead of us. They're ahead of us because it's a patriarchal society. And so they don't need to do as much as women need to do. And therefore, your greatest weapon, as far as I'm concerned, in positioning yourself, in ensuring that you are ahead of the pack, because as women, we have those inherent qualities for leadership that that we need to bring on the table. A lot of times you'll find that people are scared of having women on the table because women are known to have integrity. Women are known to, when they speak, they're speaking from their hearts. Women nurture, we nurture. But because of the historical disadvantages we have had, we need to step a notch higher. We need to do things a little bit more. And doing these things a little more does not just mean a gender card. I want to propose to you today that your communication strategy, and I'm not just talking about skills, I'm talking about your communication strategy, is what is going to make a difference between you and the seat that you're trying to pursue. And that's why, for me, this is so important. Jackie, if I just go, Rachel, if I go just a little bit above time, please do forgive me. I have really thought through this and told myself, how do I get these women who are so important, these leaders, you're our leaders, how do I get them to take advantage of communication so that in the next election, we end up with many more women being elected? And I'm sorry, the 20 minutes will not do enough. And I heard you, Rachel, emphasizing that the facilitators are there to help. We are here to help. I am happy to hold people's hands beyond this so that you can get your act together in terms of communication. Now, there's a difference between communication and information dissemination. And I need that to sink in. Are you communicating or are you sending out information? Sending out information and communicating are two totally different things. Communication is getting through. You need to get through to whoever it is that you're trying to communicate to. You need to get through rather than just sending out information. And we'll see a little bit later on how you can make sure that this is happening as you go on with your campaign. Now, if you're communicating, the first thing you need to know that image is everything. Image is everything. I'm sure when you saw that photograph, there are certain thoughts that come into your mind. This fella is long dead, but there are certain things that come into your mind. But we need to know that image is you inside out. First things first, image is you inside out. What is inside of you? What is inside of you? That nice design that is out of you, that nice shape that we see, what is inside of it? What is the content inside of you? You must work to ensure that the content, what comes out of you and what shows around you are in sync. The two must be in sync. If an egg is rotten, we color it, you break it, the stench is going to come out. We need to ensure that our image is a reflection of what we are inside. That means we must deliberately ensure that our content inside is what we want the people to know and what the people actually can see. Image is you in the eyes of the people. Image is the perception that is there about you. Image is the value that you add to your constituency. Image is the authority, and authority does not mean you're fighting. The authority that you present. Image is your trustworthiness as a woman. We are trusted, and in fact, people are likely to trust you because you are a woman. We want to be able to take charge in that way. Your intelligence, it needs to come out. You're showing the fact that, look, I am intelligent enough to know that this is what we need in this constituency, in this county, in this ward, whatever it is that we want to do. Image says that you are fit for that job. You're fit for that job that you're looking for. And the question is this: what's the basis of the impressions that people have of you? What's the basis of those impressions? It's you inside out. And what determines that you inside out is the way that you communicate. And we're going to talk about that in a very short while. There are principles of communication that I'd like us to look at. Communication is a change agent. You're vying for that position because there's a certain change. There are certain changes that you want to see happening. Those changes need to be communicated because you want to persuade people. As a politician, you want to persuade people to act towards objectives that you are actually setting for yourself. You're doing this through a two-way process. A two-way process means you talk, but you also listen. You encourage feedback. You emphasize and practice the provision of information to and from. Now, the worst mistake you can make as a politician is to just have those sycophants who tell you what you want to hear, and they get money off of you to go and build themselves. They don't give you facts of what's on the ground. That is what listening is about. What is the ground saying, And so you need to have your communication unit. Invest in a communication unit that is responsible for designing, delivering the system and tools that are going to enable you as a leader to play your role as a communicator. You will do yourself a disservice if you don't have somebody who has the know-how to ensure that your messaging is coming out correctly and is projecting your image in the way that you want it to be projected. And so, for you to be effective, you must have that two-way communication. Have that person who gives you a voice through the sycophants, because the sycophants are your largest number of followers who are likely to be telling you things that you want to hear. You must have that person who will tell you the truth about what's happening on the ground, because your communication must be in the language of the receiver. Language is not just a language. I'm talking about the things that the people on the ground are waiting for. It must be receiver focused. And if the receiver, if your constituent is not moving in the direction you want, you need to be able to persuade them that where you want to go is the right way that you should be going. You must be noticed. If you have to be noticed, your communication must be compelling. That's why you need somebody who will do the right thing for you. Because remember, you're competing for the receiver's attention, and there's so many other messages going around, there are other politicians, and you want to, and there are people who are actually disillusioned. You want them on board. You want to give them hope and say, look, you are disillusioned, but I am the answer. You know, come so that we make sure together we build what we want to build. You must be credible. Your communication must be credible. I know that politicians thrive on propaganda. The propaganda cannot be your main source of information. You must be credible. Listen, as you're communicating, think about your day one in the office. When you step in that office, day one, what are you going to do? If you are vying for a governor, what kind of cabinet are you thinking about? What cabinet positions are you going to have? What will you do? What will be your first 100 days? That should be shaping your communication. You must be credible, because when you win that seat, then you start putting into practice the things that you have been campaigning, saying that you're going to do. So without a high degree of credibility, the integrity and believability of your message will be lost. And so you want that communication is not a waste of your resources. You want your communication to be remembered. You want it to be internalized. And so you need to be consistent and continuous. You cannot afford not to communicate. You cannot afford not to communicate. You must communicate continuously, consistently, and I will look at a few things that you need to do in that way. Why is communication important? Because communication is what determines your branding. Your branding is dependent on your communication. And for women, branding and politics go hand in hand. Branding and politics go hand in hand. Women are seen as naturals. We are warm. Let's take advantage of that. We don't have to fight with the men in their space, because when it comes to fighting, they are stronger than us and so on. But we can actually get ourselves right through without having to go into the space of the men. And personal branding is about promoting what you're passionate about. So you need to promote what you're passionate about. You need to be promoting it with clarity. You need to be confidently articulating what you believe in whenever you connect with your audiences. Now, listen. Your audience is not the same. You need to find who your audience is and prepare your messages in advance for them, so that when you get to the women, you have your message for the women. When you get to the people with a disability, you have it is ready. You're not having to think about it. All these, the Obamas and Bidens and Trump, and they have their messages very well thought through for each of their audiences in advance. So the first thing you want to do is to map your audience and prepare your messages in advance so that you are on the spot. If you go somewhere and you're meeting old people, you know what old people want to hear. The message is very clear. It's already done. Now, it requires that you pay attention to detail. And women That's our strength. We pay attention to detail. What you say and do, your social media presence, your body language, who you associate with, and much more. And I was very happy to hear the person who spoke last talking about how she campaigned for another candidate, and that's how she got in. We need, even as we campaign for those other people, we need to campaign for ourselves, position ourselves. Who are you associating with? Now, note that any deviations or slip-ups can dent your brand image, and they can be absolutely costly. We don't want to go there. Now, creating a personal brand is deliberate. It's a deliberate process. It doesn't just happen. It needs to be done consistently. It needs to be done with clarity so that people will understand what you are saying. And what we want is for them to place a premium on you. We want our communication to get our audiences to place a premium on us as politicians. And the hurdle that you have is, how do you showcase who you are so that people can vote for you? That is what you're trying to do. How will you showcase that? We want you to create a compelling brand. We want you to create a compelling brand. And how do you do that? On the outside, get your dress code right. Get your manner of speaking right. Your self-presentation. You must exude confidence in what you're saying. People, you're a leader. People don't follow leaders who are wishy-washy. They want you to be confident. You know what you're talking about. Speak articulately. And these things can be learned. They can be practiced so that you make sure that you're doing the right thing. Your inner self. Your inner self. Remember, image is you inside out. Your inner self is about your self-perception. What do you think of yourself? What's your vision of the future? How do you identify yourself? What is your self-identification? Remember the other day when Ruben Kigame announced his presidential, he's going to be a presidential candidate. A nation had a nice headline that Kagame sees Kagame sees presidential something. The issue was
Kagame eyes.
Yes, Kagame eyes presidential seat. Now, the issue there was that Kagame is blind. Okay, so why would the headline be eyes when he is blind? It was like that was a shot below the belt. What did Kagame do? Turned it around. He turned it around and said, actually, I'm eyeing the presidential seat. And meanwhile, it had caused an uproar. It had created a lot of visibility for him. But you see, he's very clear about his vision for the future. You don't have to be sighted to have a vision for the future. You don't have to be sighted to eye the presidency. That was the message that was. So he was self-confident. He didn't start crying, oh, there, you know, that is what we're talking about. You must be self-aware of who you are. And there's something small that I'll talk about later that will make that very, very clear. Your compelling brand must be created deliberately, meticulously, systematically, and yet it must be adaptive. Why must it be adaptive? Because things change. You are looking at the context in which you are competing. And so because of that, you keep adapting and making sure that you're a leader. A leader doesn't stay static. A leader sees what's happening around them and adapts appropriately, adapts your message appropriately, so that you keep on doing what you have been doing over the years to stay true to your brand persona. You want to stay true to, they know that even if she changes this word, it's because the environment has changed. She's not just a chameleon. She is changing because she has reason to change. So you want to be able to do that deliberately. You want to be influential. You should be able to make a significant impact on people's minds with your consistency, your values, your authenticity, your confidence, and your inspiration. So you must be, when you work, people know that that's our leader coming along. And if you need a consultant or an agency to help you, it's worth the investment. Go right ahead. Don't think that it is something that you must do for yourself. You have your work cut out. You have things that you're doing. Get an expert, get somebody to do it for you. It's well worth your investment. Well worth your investment. And so to build a brand, it's crucial to focus on your vision and goals, and then craft your presence to appeal to your target audience, because you want brand recall value that makes a lasting impact. And remember that your personal brand is directly proportional to your perceived world. So if your perception is this big, then directly proportionally, you'll find that your brand you'll be stepping out that big, and your brand will also be presented in that manner. And so it's your responsibility as a woman to empower people's perception about you. Empower them about their perception. It's you who is going to shape it. And I repeat, if you need a consultant or an agency to do it for you, it's worth your investment. Very well worth your investment. Women should step up their game by creating a formidable personal brand that would become a culture which people can say about us without us opening our mouth. They just know who you're. You know, they hear you, they see, they know you are coming. They just know, we know who that is, and we know that that is our leader. Your brand is who you are. It is your call and what you have been presenting. The people would say about you, and the onus lies on us to create that personal mental image for ourselves. The onus is on us to do exactly that. And so your brand consists of your reputation, your relationships, your trust, your connections, your positioning, your marketing, your identity, the values, the vision, the mission, your all these come together to create that brand. And that brand is critical. It's critical in getting your word out, getting your message out, and getting you elected. So how do you position your brand? It's critical. It's critical. How do you position your brand? You have various tools that you use to position your brand. And those tools, especially, I decided today I must talk about the internet. I want you to be aware that there were 21.75 million internet users in Kenya in January. Internet penetration as of January 2021, 40%. 11 million social media users in Kenya, January this year. Users in Kenya increased by 2.2 million between 2020 and 2021. Now, the number of social media users in Kenya was equivalent to 20.2% of video conferencing and web conferencing platforms are now a common vocabulary among ordinary citizens. I'm yet to see a candidate holding a webinar for their constituents and just talking about issues, or using that webinar to even collect information from their their constituents. I'm yet to see that. Similarly, we find new types of social media being accessed locally that did not have much following before. So we have TikTok, we have IMO, we have Likey, we have Vskit, we have Telegram, and Vimeo. All these, and there are more emerging social media. Now, the most used social media among Kenyans, most platform, WhatsApp, 89% WhatsApp. Then Facebook, 81.7, and YouTube. I am on a number of my local constituency WhatsApp groups. And I see a number of Waheshimias there and leaders, they're just quiet. They just watch the conversation going. They are not taking advantage of those platforms to position their brands. And so I'm saying with all these things, where are you on the social media? Can you afford to be off the social media? You cannot. You cannot. We have TikTok, Telegram, all these. Telegram now can take as many people as possible. Not as active as WhatsApp, but WhatsApp only takes 257. So you need to know, why would I use this? And then perhaps be in a number of those WhatsApp groups for your constituents. So why is this important? You need to engage the public. Social media gives you the opportunity to create your message. So you create your message, whether it's on video. This serves as an alternative to traditional media. Don't say, oh, I'm not being covered by Nation, I'm not being KTN. I wish you knew how many people are watching those platforms now. Create your videos and get them out, have them on those WhatsApp groups, have them get a YouTube channel, get yourself onto the website, get a Facebook page. And you want to fact check yourself prior to publishing. Make sure that you're publishing something that is right, because the moment you have something wrong on your social media, claims and misinformation are very difficult to contain once they have been made. And so make sure that you put together some sort of approval process, because you are likely not to be handling your social media directly yourself. You may be too busy. If you are too busy to do it, have a method. Whoever is posting, make sure there is some approval process so that they're not just posting anything and creating a mess of your brand. Now, don't count out the younger social media platforms. Like last evening, I had one of my sons asking me, but Mommy, what are you? You're not on Instagram? They are shocked that I am on Instagram. And I'm asking, why not? And they're saying, but Mommy, what are you doing on Instagram? And I'm saying, tell me why I shouldn't be on Instagram. They are there and they are voters. Make sure that you are on Instagram. Make sure you're there and making your message heard there. Now, the flip side of that coin is dealing with trolls. You're likely to be trolled. Your competitors are likely to get you to be trolled. You need to learn how to deal with your troll. Beyond just developing a thick skin, what you want to do is don't feed the trolls. Sometimes when you respond to them, you create more and more fire that gets the things to go. So to go on. So you try to emphasize a sense of community in the contents and don't encourage needless fighting. You don't have to respond to every troll that comes onto your platform. Consistently ask and answer questions. The beauty about social media is you get feedback. You get feedback. please get onto social media, because you will get feedback from your foes, from your friends. That feedback is absolutely critical, very, very critical. So it shows that you are willing to listen. When you allow even those negative comments to be seen there and get on, it shows you are actually listening. Score more with shares with visual content. Nice photographs, nice videos. Now we have phones that would take videos. Please, visual content is now king. Control the images that are on your platforms. Visual content. Make sure that you have people taking nice pictures, editing your clips where you go and talk, and get short, neat, 3-minute, 2.5-minute clips that are speaking out your word. Make sure that those come out. Infographics. Make sure that infographics are coming out. You're showing the statistics about your place, the number of educated people are this, and that. You are showing visually. That shows you are on top of the statistics in your area. And if we do that, then you elect me, this is what I want to do, and we want to move this from here to here. You're creating objectives that are exciting, that people can talk about. You want to make sure that if you're making an important announcement, see how you can put together a visual to match up with it. So you come up with a graphic that will show what it is that you are coming up with.
Hello,
Make a point.
Kentis. Sorry for cutting you short. You have 4 more minutes to go. Thank you so much.
Yes. Make a point to post daily. Make a point to post daily. Now, you'll find that because you are on the move, you are on the run, perhaps that's where you need somebody, some people to actually do this for you. But remember, as you're posting daily, you must have an approval process so that you're not having people just posting anything because you want to post daily. So this allows you to schedule and publish content across multiple platforms. So you will have the same video. It's on Twitter, it's on your Facebook, it's on Instagram, and so on and so forth. You can actually schedule. You can schedule your content so that you make sure that every day you have something going in. Remember that branding brings all this together. And branding is as a result of effective communication. And effective communication doesn't just happen, it is deliberate. So make sure that you deliberately go out to create your narrative, to create your messages. Remember, you're inside out. What's coming out of inside needs to match up with what is around you, because you are likely to be looked at a woman. They look at your bums, they look at whatever. But you see, we want to show that it's the intellect, it's what's coming out of us that really matters. Remember that for you to create a compelling brand, branding and politics go hand in hand for women. And that's why I advocate for you investing in having a clear communication strategy that is run by somebody professional who will guide you and ensure that your brand positioning leads you to the future. We want more women in these spaces. I thank you for listening, and I'm ready for your questions.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Tikolo. I mean, I could not see the time was actually, I had run out, you know. What you're really bringing out is very key, very important. Colleagues, please have your videos on and let's just celebrate and thank our guest speaker who has really spoken to what is really, really so important for us as we plan, even as we prepare to run for those political seats. So thank you so much. Let's all celebrate our guest speaker. Thank you so much, Tikolo. We really appreciate you. We affirm you. We thank you for really sharing with us those very important aspects of our political journey. I don't know if there's any questions specifically for Tikolo. I'm not sure whether she'll be staying with us all through. If there's any question, I will give 3 participants. I see Linda, you'll go first. And then I see someone else raising up their hand. So we have Linda. Go ahead, please. If you have a question for Tikolo or a comment, go ahead, Linda.
Thank you for allowing me to ask a question. And thank you, Tikolo, for such a good presentation. My question goes to, as women, mostly we get attacked on our personal lives. When you're vying, they bring the history of your exes, who you have slept with, true or not true, who potentially they expect you to sleep, and all that. There's a lot of washing of linen as far as women are concerned, which is not the same as for men. And at times it can make you digress from what is important and that. So my question is then, how do you handle it in a professional way, in such a manner that you don't delve in it, but equally you don't let it you don't let the mudslinging really take course and really go away? How do you balance that?
I would say there's no balancing. You can't balance, because what are you balancing? The reason your communication must be deliberate is exactly that you are likely to be trolled. In fact, those are sideshows. And if you allow sideshows to detract you, then you're going to end up following the wrong route. That's why we are saying, have your messaging absolutely clear and keep getting those messages out so that you overwhelm those people who are trying to bring in all these things on the side. And by the way, don't think it's just women. Remember the other day, Muhisa Kitui. You saw what happened with Muhisa Kitui. And what did he do? He just has refused to answer that and has said, I want us to keep our debate beyond, above our shoulders. So have a standing response to that, and people know that is likely to happen. That's likely to happen. So focus on your messaging, focus on your constituents, and that's why if you are on a platform, you'll find people who are actually defending you. You don't need to have people attacking them. You'll just find people saying, we know this. So your leadership message must be so clearly coming out and so consistently that those kind of things are seen for what they are, sideshows. And by the way,
thank you so much.
That's a test of leadership, because if you're going to start getting angry, what kind of leader are you? You get. So the thing is, how are you going to stay the course despite those trolls? That is your strategy. You stay the course. The thing is this: we are talking about development in A, B, C, D. We are not talking about, these sideshows. And call them out for what they are. Those are sideshows. Let's talk about the real issues here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tikolo. And I think that is what Honorable Martha Karua really alluded to on Monday. Don't let those sideshows just divert your attention from the main thing. Let's talk about my agenda. This is my agenda. This is what I'm bringing on the table. Ask me questions about this agenda. So thank you so much, and we really appreciate you. And once again, we affirm you and we thank you. And I like what you said. Look for professionals. It is okay to look for a branding and a communication professional to just give you all that insight, to brand you, to make you really a brand that can sell out there. So colleagues and participants, don't shy away. If you feel like you need a professional to come and support you in terms of how do you do your public speaking, how do you dress up, how do you appear in front of those podiums, how do you package your information, go ahead. That is what we are getting from our guest speaker, and that is what we also got from our facilitator, Muthomi. Go ahead, do not shy away. Thank you so much, Tikolo. Please stay along if you have the time. Please go and stay along with us. We'll be here the whole day. Today is our day 5. We are here until around 4 in the evening. Our participants have been going through a 5-day training. They have learned a lot. They shared that they have learned a lot, that they're feeling like this training should have come at an earlier time, where they get all these skills and what they really need. But all is not lost. It is a time. We have already started our countdown. Yesterday, Barasa and Terry were taking us through the action planning, the personal plan. We have already started our countdown. And so that is a good thing, that as we count down, then we have all the skills that we're getting from this academy. So thank you so much. Please stay in if you'd like to. We'll be happy to have you. If there are any other questions that we'd like to direct to you, so that you can share your experience and maybe just tackle those questions, we'll be happy to share with you. So colleagues, I want us to take a 5-minute break. It is now 10:13. If we take a 5-minute break, and then we will have Terry, who will take us through the next module, which is work-life balance. So Terry, we're excited that you're here with us as one of our facilitators, and we'll be looking forward to just listen through how do we balance our work and our life. How do the two of them integrate together so that one does not take out the space for the other. So Terry, we will look forward to that presentation. And also in the room, we have our guest speaker, Anne Carrier, who will also shed more light in terms of how the practical bits, what exactly do we need to do? What are the strategies that we need to put in place? So colleagues, we take a 3-minute, now it's 3-minute break. And then when we come back, Terry will take us through module 9, which is work-life balance. So thank you so much. Keep sending the questions. I can see the comments there. Could allow me to read. Esna Nyaramba, I've never had such a great session like this. It was beautiful and so informative. I picked one, the resource mobilization, campaign planning, strategic planning and implementation, self-belief before I start thinking of vying. Thank you so much, Esna, for that and for that feedback. Then we have Eunice Jepchumba, who says, yes, I'm very ready for this and I've learned a lot through encouragement and self-determination. The strategic plan has also guided me and made informed decision to what seat I should go for and what is needed. So thank you so much, Jepchumba, for that. And she's so happy with the academy. And Esna also says it was a very timely training and it came at the right time. So thank you so much, Esna. Saboke says, a leader who has something unique to offer to the people. I was also able to get a report from my ward about the issues that Dr. Barasa discussed. Oh, Dr. Barasa already, the participant is already implementing what you had suggested to get to the ward, get all that information. And she says,
good.
it will help me to strategize and position myself. I'm very excited. And she says she's determined and she's more confident. And she said, thank you so much to Fawe. So thank you so much. We like to hear such feedback that really the 1 week that we have spent behind these laptops, behind these computers really has been helpful. So thank you so much, Saboke, for that. And before Dr. Terry comes in, I'd just like to read one last feedback. I truly appreciate Fawe and the partners who have made this possible. It has been great, informative, and awesome. First of all, I'm not the same person as I started this session. I'm an empowered woman, and I have no doubts that I had doubts before on whether to go on with my plan to vie in 2022, but now I'm more ready and I'm feeling like I'm ready. Drafting the plan is one of the greatest things I'm coming out with from this training. The stories shared were extremely inspiring. The guest speakers, Honorable Martha Karua, Honorable Jacqueline Odwall, and then all the other guest speakers who have been in this meeting. And of course, today, Kentis Tikolo. Yesterday, we had Honorable Hamisa Zaja. We had Phyllis Macau for gender responsive budgeting. The training was timely, and I'm extremely grateful. And she's saying, I'm so happy and to be, amazing, amazing, amazing feedback coming from our participants. We appreciate you. We affirm you really for coming out, because just like Honorable Martha Karua said, have a meeting with yourself and decide and say, self, this is something that I want to do. So really, we appreciate you and affirm you for really coming up with that thought and pushing that thought that, yes, I want to be in those political seats, and this is my calling. This is what I want to do and to give up to the society and the people that I live with. So thank you so much. Dr. Terry, I don't know whether you are ready. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rachel, and good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm ready. I want to share my screen. Thank you.
Go ahead, go ahead. Thank you so much. Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, let me put on my video. Okay, I'm not certain my video is on, Rachel.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
I don't know where the icon has hid itself.
No problem, Dr. Terry.
You can stop sharing, then you have your
video. You adjust, yeah.
All right.
There you are. There you are. We can now see you. Thank you.
Yeah, let me share the screen now.
Okay.
I'm here now, and good morning again, once again. I'm delighted to be here this morning, and of course, I've been here for the other 4 days since Monday. And I have also been part of the people who are involved partially in the development of this particular learning materials. And I'm therefore so excited to be your facilitator, and actually your last facilitator. I think I need a clap for that. Thank you. You know, when you're the last facilitator, of course, your work is so easy, because I'm just building up on where you started on Monday, where, of course, we started with the introduction of the module, moving on to the introduction of politics, the rigor frameworks, moving on to women in elections, moving on gender responsive budgeting. Yesterday, of course, we were looking at the transformational leadership and mainstreaming, disability mainstreaming in politics. Today, we are talking about work-life balance and self-care, and this is therefore the very last module of the Academy 1. And I'm therefore so much excited to be here. I will take just a few minutes, of course, to introduce myself. And by now, of course, I know that you know me, because I've been here with us all. So this is me. I am a mother of 2 beautiful daughters. I am a wife of 1. I am a daughter of someone, of course. I am a sister to you all. I am an auntie to many. And I am a friend of many Kenyans, many Africans, and of course, a lot of international networks. I am a certified executive coach. I am a mentor. I am a leadership development consultant and a certified trainer. I hold a BA in development studies. Thank you. A master's in project planning and management, gender development studies as my thesis and PhD level. But what brings me here today is because I am very, very passionate about women and youth. And I help women in particular to believe in themselves so that they can unlock their potential and transform their lives. The word there is transform. So I want you to transform your life at the end of the day. And in a nutshell, that is who I am. August, I'm not sure what you did to my slide. There is a second slide. Please unmute August if you are communicating.
Okay, in case you see this, okay, let me come. In case you see that, you made some transitions. So it will be coming step by step. I hope it's getting to what you expected, is it?
It's getting to that, but unfortunately you are a slide, I think you're on the third slide. You can move to the second.
This is the second one.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, it's all right.
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that, my audience. I think August is sharing what I had shared yesterday. I had actually preferred to share the screen myself because I did a little editing.
That's okay. That's okay. Please, Dr. Terry, go ahead and share your screen. Go ahead and share your screen from your side. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for that. That is communication.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Rachel, for that. That is communication. I am actually excited about Kenti's presentation. And what I have taken home from that, just picking up from this, is that there's a difference between communication and disseminating information. And communication is getting through rather than sending information. So for me, that was my take home. And I hope that during this session, I will be getting through to you rather than sending information to you. I'm also hopeful that I will be communicating with you rather than disseminating information to you. So let's start up from here. How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling?
Can I go? I'm feeling excited.
Yes,
I'm feeling excited because it's been an amazing 1 week and I've met amazing people this week. So I'm so excited and the sky is blue, the sun is out, it's beautiful, it's amazing for me.
Wow. Who else would want to tell us how are you this morning? How are you feeling this morning?
Super.
Super, Anyone else?
I'm feeling happy.
And that's number 13. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
To be talking to you. Fitting.
Who is speaking, please?
Sharon is speaking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite privileged to be among you people and very happy this morning.
Excellent. That's number 13. She's very happy. Anyone else? 2 more.
Asina
I'm feeling excited.
I'm happy. Thank you. I'm feeling tired. I'm like, when are we going to end this session? Yeah, that's me today.
Thank you for that honesty. I hope that we will try to move you from number 5 to maybe number 13. I'm sorry for that. One more.
I'm feeling happy and excited today. And also, I'm a little bit sad because the academy is ending today. I wish it could have continued.
Oh dear.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Those are mixed feelings. Happy and sad the academy is ending.
Yes.
We say that in the academies we really don't end. What we end is just the 5 days engagement, but the communication and engagements continue after this. So please don't feel sad. I hope that I'll be able to lift you from number 7 and make you retain you at 13 all through beyond even the academy. Unless if there's anyone else who wants to tell us how they feel, I wish to move on to the next slide. Now, the outline of this session, these are part of the things that I wish to cover with us. Of course, the very key thing here is about work-life balance, work-life harmony, and self-care. We will be discussing a bit of all this together and seeing how this will definitely help us to become very effective political leaders, and not just political leaders, but generally human beings, because we are not separating our other lives. We are not separating ourselves from who we are simply because we are learning or we are interested with the political leadership. We still remain mothers, those of us who are, you remain a sister to someone. Maybe you run other side hustle businesses, that one remains. You remain a friend to someone, you remain a church member, or whichever religion you ascribe to, you remain of service to the community and all that. So we are therefore not separating you from anything else. You're still moving ahead, the person that you are, with all that you do, but we are saying, can we try to create some harmony in all that setup, so that then at the end of the day, you're able to achieve much better than even what you'd plan to do through your personal development plan. Please feel free to list any question either through the HUD or on the chat. And if you want me to slow down, please also let me know so that we work together. We believe at FAWE that we are not going to leave anyone behind, and therefore we want to move with each one of us up to the very end and beyond. Now, there are several activities of this module or objectives that we'll be covering as we discuss along. First, we want to understand what work-life balance is, what work-life harmony is. We will then move on to understand what are some of the signs of unbalanced life. You know, when we say that our lives are not balanced, we are not with harmony with ourselves, what exactly do we mean? What are some of those signs that can already start telling you, hey, Terry, you need to do something about your life. You need to touch on this. You need to think about this. You need to strategize how to make your life better. We will then move on to check on the benefits of work-life balance or work-life harmony. What are the benefits? What do I stand to gain when I have a more harmonious life? You know, how will it look like? How will I feel like? How will it benefit me as an individual? How will it benefit the people that I work with? How will it benefit my employer, for example? We will then look at a very core component of work-life harmony, which is time management. We always talk of time management. And here we are saying that we need to know how to get organized, because we all have 24 hours in a day, 1,001 things to be done. And now you're adding yourself other responsibilities of even being a reader. So how do you go about all this? We will then move on to the activity of looking at stress management. We are saying that particularly women, because of the roles that we perform, of course, multiple roles that we perform, then chances are, if you're not in harmony with yourself and with your life, stress is likely to catch up with you. And therefore, we will be asking ourselves, how do we try to be more harmonious with ourselves so that we don't get to the point of stress management? And currently, we are talking a lot about mental health, even in Kenya today. So we don't want any of us to get into these bits of stress management, depression, mental health issues and all that, because then we are saying these are things that we can try to avoid as much as we can, as long as we are creating harmony within ourselves and in our own lives. We'll then be speaking something a little bit about drawing a boundary between work and home. Most of us now are currently working from home. It is actually the new norm since last year. And even, as we work from home, there are many challenges that you are likely to face, or you already facing as you're working from home. Giving an example like this season, from yesterday, it's midterm, so the kids are at home. Those of us with kids, everyone is at home, a lot of noise allowed, a lot of praying allowed, a lot of movements allowed, and kids are saying, Mommy, I want Indomie, Mimi, I'm not going to eat rice today, Mommy, I want to do this. My office door is already having a knock and somebody is needing something. So how are we going to create harmony? We know these scenarios. And that will actually be the last bit of our session, where we'll be looking at creating a balance, creating harmony, and all that. So basically, that is what I will be talking to us in the next couple of minutes. And by the end of that, of course, we'll be moving on to a discussion where we'll be having some strategies on how to better ourselves as far as self-care and work-life harmony and balance are concerned. Then the rest of the day will definitely roll as planned. Now, we are looking here at what is work-life balance. Now, in most of the theoretical concepts, you'll find that a number of scholars will be using the work-life balance and work-life harmony interchangeably. You know, when people talk of work-life balance, others talk of work-life harmony. As a coach or a trainer, and particularly from the coaching perspective, I am more comfortable using work-life harmony as opposed to work-life balance. But whichever term that we use in this context, I'll be using the two terms also. What is most important is just to understand what it is and how you get it, how you can work around it, how to achieve it, how to know when you don't have it, and what to do so that you can be better at it. So maybe I would be happy to just hear from you, any one of you. When you hear the word work-life balance, what comes to your mind? I always tell my participants that when I am facilitating a session, I want you to think like a 2-year-old boy or a 2-year-old girl. Please don't think too high. I just want you to think like a kid of 2 years, a girl of 2 years, or a boy who is 2 years old. Any answer is correct in adult education. There is no answer that is wrong, because we are speaking from your own perspective. So in your own understanding, what do you think work-life balance is?
Yes, we have Honorable Nancy. Honorable Nancy, please go ahead.
Thank you. I think to my perspective, work-life balance is like when you talk of this, work-life balance is 50-50. Like everything gets enough of its request. Like if home, maybe your life gets 50, the work gets 50. Like you are not favoring any. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable. I have really liked that 50-50, and we'll be getting back to that at some point, and I'll be asking you, is it possible? Do you think it's possible to get a 50-50? Anyone else? Rachel is on.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead, Jemima.
Work-life balance. Work-life balance is the way you balance your time with your family, your time as a politician or rather at work, your leisure time, and how also maybe if you're a religious person, you plan how to go to work. The way you plan your time, you divide your time in a way that it doesn't affect the other part. Thank you.
Thank you, Jemima, for that. You
have one more?
Yes, one more.
Yes, Christine Dungu, then you can respond. Dr. Terry, sorry for that.
No problem.
Christine, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. For me, work-life balance is when I'm able to just get everything done and still have time to rest, because sometimes work might be kidogo and then housework is a lot, and sometimes work is a lot and then housework is kidogo. So as long as I get everything done in a day and I'm able to just rest, for me, that's a balance.
There is a post on the chat which says time spent at and outside of work.
Dr. Terry, probably for me, work-life balance is just switching off my laptop at 5 and not opening it until the next day at 8 or maybe 7 as I prepare for the day. So for me, if I achieve that, like I am working during the day, but as maybe on Friday we do half day by 2, my laptop is shut, and in the evening by 5 on the dot, my laptop is shut, then for me, that is super work-life balance. Thank you.
Christine Ndungu has a hand up.
Oh, sorry, I already gave my comment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, let me lower my hand. I already gave my comment.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I love it when it is that interactive. Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to put a spanner in the works. How do we call it work-life balance when we are spending 3/4 on our Facebook, on our Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, even at the expense of eating, even at the expense of even reporting to work early, and even at the expense of sleep? That's just a spanner in the works.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for that. Let's keep the discussions ongoing. I trust that by the time we get to the last slide, we'll have been able to, get more understanding on this. But I honestly like all what you have said. And as I said from the beginning, in adult education, every answer is correct. All right. So there's no wrong answer. Every answer is right because you're speaking from your own context. You're speaking from your own perspective. And I like it. There's Honorable who talked over a 50-50. I did mention that we'll be, as we move on the slides, we'll be seeing how that is. Rachel, of course, giving herself a target of, switching off, logging out from everything at 5 p.m. I will also be asking Rachel, has she been able to achieve that? Actually, she was calling me yesterday at around 9 p.m. So then she is not, and we'll then be discussing some of those strategies. Sometimes we tell ourselves, I will not even be working over the weekend. And many times you find yourself working, sometimes not out of choice, you find yourself into it, You tell yourself, I want to have more time with my babies, with my family, with my constituents, now that you're starting the campaigns and all that. Then you find somewhere along the way, things are not really working. So what are we saying at the end of the day? As a coach, I said, I prefer the word harmony, because getting the 50-50, my friend, is gonna be it's gonna be very difficult. Getting a 50-50, it's going to be difficult. Getting to that equilibrium can be very difficult. But what is most important to me is having harmony in whatever you have to do, in whatever you are doing. Is there harmony? Are you feeling at peace with yourself? Are you feeling that you have achieved at the end of the day? Are you feeling like you're happy with yourself? Because the moment you start feeling like I'm not giving time, especially for women, I'm not giving time for my children, I'm not giving time for the family, I'm too much to the office, you're here, you're there, then of course you get stressed, and we are trying to run away from stress. So as we are therefore saying with this definition, this is just in addition to what you already know and what we have shared, that it is an effective management. You're trying to balance between work, which is remunerated, so that is what you get paid for, or even if you run your own business. And then you have other responsibilities. You have other individual responsibilities. You have community work. You have family work. You have you have family life and all that. You have other responsibilities. So are you able to get some sort of a balance or harmony in whatever it is that you're doing? And we are saying that this balance can influence your productivity as an individual, to yourself and to the organization that you work. Now you're moving to political leadership. This kind of harmony or balance will have a direct influence to your productivity through the post that you're fighting for, through the leadership that you'll be offering, the constituents that you'll be serving. They will be affected in one way or another. So it is therefore very important then we understand what we are referring to here. And we are saying we are trying to create some harmony or some balance sort of between the work that you do, which is remunerated, and other responsibilities that you have as an individual. So if you're able to create harmony between the two, then we'll be talking of work-life balance or work-life harmony. And we are saying that will have a direct relationship or a direct influence to your productivity at an individual level, or to the constituents that you'll be serving, or to whatever it is that you will be doing. Okay. So I just want to introduce the concept of harmony here so that we understand exactly what we are talking about. If you remember, Honorable, of course, talked about the 50-50. So we are saying that the word balance tries to suggest that we are splitting our time on 50-50 aspect, which we are saying in most cases may be very difficult. The word balance also brings an idea that work is competing with life, implying that one is always working against the other than coexisting. So it sounds like there is you have to strike a balance. You have to keep the equilibrium balancing, which we are saying it's not very easy. Now, the reason I love harmony is that we are saying it is that secret to that pristine arrangement. It is actually an arrangement. Everything seems to be working harmoniously together. We acknowledge that the way to a happy, prosperous, and healthy work and life is to integrate the two. Remember, I began by saying that we are not separating you from anything else. You are still the person that you are. But we are saying that you can create harmony in all that you're doing so that then at the end of the day, you are more harmonious, you are more happy with yourself, and that particular arrangement is pristine enough. And as a result of that, you're more happy, you're more harmonious, you're able to achieve what you intend to achieve every day, every week, every month, every year. So it's up to us, whichever term that we are most comfortable with. But I think the most important thing that I'm trying to communicate this morning, we need to create harmony. You shouldn't feel guilty when you feel like you're not giving enough time for this or enough time for that. It's a matter of trying to be at peace with yourself. That internal peace is very, very important. You need to have that harmony within yourself. We need to, as you organize your day, as you organize your time, try to give time to things that are of importance to you, things that matter to you, and try to act and implement the things that you plan to on a daily basis. And then try not to feel like anything is competing with the other. Being a mother or being a wife or being wherever you are should not feel like you're competing with your political leadership. You have time for your political constituents, for your political leadership responsibilities. When you come home, kindly step back and be a mother that you are. Be the sister that you are. When you go out there, be that political leader that you are. So being present wherever you are would probably help each one of us to have more harmony with ourselves. Now, every time I get an opportunity to talk about this work-life balance and harmony and self-care and all that, moving to the next slide, I want to share a very personal experience with us so that we can be able to resonate with what we are talking about. And within that personal experience, I will have covered a lot of many other activities, and therefore will take little time as we wind up, because the experience itself will be speaking to so many other slides below there. I want you to look at those photos and just tell me what you can see. And we're saying that we want you to think straight like a 2-year-old girl, a 2-year-old boy. What can you see on any of those photos? How would you describe any of those photos? There's the one in red, the one in striped, the one in a jumper. What can you see? Like a 2-year-old girl, a 2-year-old boy. Don't think 2 and 2 years, by the way, don't think hard. These are toddlers. They just tell you what they see and how they see it. Anyone?
Can I say something?
Please go ahead.
The one in red, I think the lady is trying to take care of matters at home or something like that. The one in the middle, it's she's at the office or something. Then the one in jeans, she's trying to have some time off from work. She's just enjoying herself.
Thank you for that. Rachel was speaking to me. It's unfortunate I can't be able to see the speakers by their name somehow, but you let me. That was speaking to me. All right, as Rachel finds out that, thank you for that.
Susan
is that, thank you, Susan, for that. Is that one the same person, or those are 3 different people?
No, it's one person.
All right. Would you know who that person is? Do you know that person?
It's you.
All right, let's pick someone else. Like a 2-year-old boy or girl. What can you see? What would you say about those photos?
Let me say something about the photos. This is Sharon.
Yes, Sharon.
The one you're in a red t-shirt, you look like you're in a beach. You had gone there to have some fun and you're relaxing. And the one in the middle, you're in a formal outfit. So this looks like you are walking, maybe you're in the office or you're getting ready to go to the office. So you're walking there. The one to the right, your outfit, it's a casual wear. And it looks like you're just, maybe it's some weekend or in the evening after work, or just, you're also relaxing there. Yeah, so that's what I got from the pictures.
Thank you, Susan. Absolutely. I was in the beach. Very true. I was heading to the office. Very true. On the last one, I was tired. I was fatigued. I was just looking at the, just wondering, looking at the skies and wondering, okay, then is this day ending? And am I truly myself? Okay.
Terry,
Yes,
we have
please.
one more. We have Honorable Nancy.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think after I have heard what you have just said, that whatever you are doing, then I think my answer is now direct to the point. So at the first place, this is a holiday trip. The first picture in red, that is a holiday trip. The middle picture is a home, and I think it's just probably you are dressed up to go to work, but you are still at home. Then the last picture is a stroll, or maybe walking around. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable. That's very true. You got it all right. Please be free. Anything else physically? Can you see any different? Just describe it as you see it.
Jenna Mary also has her hand.
Jane, go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Terry, you said we present like a 2-year-old.
Absolutely.
Now, like a 2-year-old, I would tell you I am seeing 3 different people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would tell you that I'm seeing 3 different people. There is one who I think is ready to play with me. The one in a red t-shirt, that looks like she's ready. Then we can start playing. The one in a nice dress, nice belt, I would say, oh, that one looks like my doctor, well dressed. And then there is the one in I think slacks or blue jeans there, and I would say, oh, that one also looks sporty, and we can play, and in a nice background, nice grass, so it looks like easy. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jane. Rachel, I don't know that there's anything on the chat, but anytime I look at these photos, I did mention that I want to use this slide and the next line to summarize everything that I was asked to do this morning about work-life balance and self-care. Thank you. Picking up from what Jane has just mentioned. Yes, in the first one, of course, the dress code is there. Looking at the dress code and all that, and what a 2-year-old would think, and what a 2-year-old boy or girl would be thinking, or that whatever it is that would come to mind. Let me move to the next one, then I can combine the 2 slides and wind up. All right, what can you see in the first slide? What's happening on the first slide there, on the first photo?
I think this is Nancy, Honorable Nancy. I think on the first photo is our working Zoom mother. Yeah, because the earphones states that you are doing something, maybe listening to something. So with the current status of Zoom, it might be a Zoom conversation. The second one is a family happy time, or a family photo with the happy moments, because all of you are laughing. So except the little baby who I cannot see the smile, but I'm sure she's also laughing. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Anyone else want more?
Yes, Terry, in the first photo, there's a baby who's sleeping and you have your earphones in your ears, but there's a baby. You have a baby and you're working.
Absolutely.
And of course, the second photo.
I can share as well.
Yes,
go ahead.
Yeah, for me, what I'm seeing on the first photo, you are taking your work responsibility. You are taking your role as a mother, because I can tell you're breastfeeding. And just trying to combine all these things together at the same time. And then the second photo, now this is a happy hour for the family. You are now out of work, but still you had to do all these things. Your responsibilities, you never left any, just because maybe you're at work. That's what I'm picking.
Wow, excellent. It sounds extremely good when a man speaks from that point of view. Actually, he saw I was breastfeeding. He also appreciates that this person and so much to do, they are still the mother of this baby, work has to be done, they're in a Zoom meeting, and of course the second photo read all that. So thank you so much. Now back to the other slide where and shared. I said I'm only using these two slides actually, and I will be done. Now, here is my story that is summarizing all that is in this module 9 on work-life balance and harmony. Now, in this first photo here, as you said, a number of us said, this was taken in the year 2018. The one in a red t-shirt, I was in Mombasa for a holiday. It was allowed Christmas time. This photo was taken in the December of 2018. The year 2018 was a very transformational year for me. It is the year in my lifetime when I was extremely busy at work. And the organization was going through a lot of restructuring. And as a result of that, I ended up shouldering so much responsibilities just to keep everything afloat. I work with the Africa Center for Transformative and Inclusive Leadership. This is a leadership development center at Kenyatta University, which is a partnership between the university and the UN Women. And I am there as the course director, training, coaching, mentoring, and just overseeing that the activities are running from January to December. So in this particular year of 2018, as I mentioned, a lot of restructuring was taking place as the partnership was almost being weaned off to the university. And as a result of that, therefore, we did not have a director at that particular time due to those transitioning. And the deputy director was also not there. And being the third in that office, I had to shoulder on the responsibilities of the director, the responsibilities of the deputy director, and of course, my responsibilities as the third in that structure. What did that mean for me? It was exciting one, learning a lot of experience, doing a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, I was not a very happy person. Why? Because I was overstretched beyond limit. I would do so much. My days were longer. You know, when Rachel says that she wishes a laptop could be off by 5, mine was off way past 10 p.m. every day. I didn't have a weekend for myself because there was so much to be done. And the organization was not at a position to bring in new staff at that particular moment. It was extremely difficult for me. Of course, I performed with the rest of the team, but that came at a very huge expense for me. The year 2018, I went to the hospital more than 6 times. And besides that, any other time I have been to the hospital is when I'm delivering my babies. But 2018, every quarter I was in the hospital, and in some quarters, particularly the 4th one, I was in the hospital twice. That gave me between 6 to 7 times to the hospital in a year. every time I went to the hospital, they would check everything, and the results were always negative. Are we together? I don't know how it makes you feel when you go to the hospital feeling tired, fatigued, and sick. And when the doctor goes to explain to you your results, the doctor tells you, hey, Terry, everything seems to be negative. I didn't know whether to be happy with those results or whether to be sad with the results. Because I was asking the doctor, you are telling me the results are negative. Fine, that's good, Daktari. But I am tired, I am fatigued, I feel sick. And you'd tell me, I'm not giving you any medication. You just need to go and catch some rest. Now, going back to catch some rest, I am asking myself, how gonna this be? I have a lineup of activities, 1,001 emails to respond to, partners to engage, activities on the lineup. And I remember one time, around September of that year, I had an opportunity to travel to Ethiopia. I was having a training there. Actually, it was a transformational leadership training. And I traveled with Professor Catherine, who took us through one of the sessions yesterday. Where we were there, I remember very well, we were accommodated at Addis Ababa, and we were to get a fan in the morning, a ride of for about 45 minutes where the training venue was. And what was most striking for me, for the first time in my lifetime, I barely sleep while on the car. But that particular time, the moment I got in the car and just pressed my laptop on my lap and ensure that it's safe, I would just fall automatically asleep. And I remember Prof telling me, Terry, you need to rest. And I told Prof, please don't talk like an outsider because you're part of all my programs until the end of the year. And you know too well that the last activity is running up to November. So Prof really kept telling me, Terry, we need to rest. And I'm like, fine, Prof. Even the doctor has said that, you know. And during those 5 days training, I was honestly feeling fatigued in Ethiopia. And I kept feeling like, yes, I need to rest. I need to go and rest, or I need to do something altogether. It was the first time in my lifetime to ever feel like I need to quit this employer. I just need to go even without a plan, to go and sleep, to go and rest, to go and do my own stuff. But of course, you and I knows that it's not so easy to do that. You still have bills to pay. You still have mortgages to pay. Kids are going to school. Food must be put on the table. So it's usually a struggle, even when you reach at that particular time, and that is the point that I had already reached. And when we came back from Addis Ababa, I, of course, now decided to get a strategy. I couldn't, of course, get a continuous number of days off, but I chose to be working, some days from home, others in the office, and taking a full Friday as off. Of course, that helped a little bit, but not to the extent that the doctor really wanted. I remember also the doctor mentioned to me, Terry, you also need to work on your weight, because at that particular time, I was feeling very unhealthy. I was feeling very, very unfit. Of course, you can't be certain. I didn't have time to exercise. I didn't have time to go to the gym. I didn't have time to go for my evening jogging because I was always tired with a lot of work to be done. So as a result of all these things that were happening, therefore, I decided to do a personal development plan. And by the end of December of 2018, I had already committed to myself that come 2019, my life is going to change and change for the best. So first things first, my physical and fitness, health, and to be on check. So I decided to get a health and fitness coach. And if you see the second photo and the first photo and the done photo, you can as well see thinking and seem like a 2-year-old boy or girl. The size also has changed a bit. Actually, not a bit, it changed. Because I chose to work on my personal health. I chose to work on my physical and fitness. So that one changed because physically I was affected. I was tired. I was always fatigued. I had lost myself, no exercise. I was just neither here nor there. So the photo that I am in a striped dress, this photo and the first photo, it's just a difference of about 12 to 16 weeks. I worked with a health and fitness coach for about 3 months. And within that period of just 3 months, actually the one I'm in a dress was taken in April, and the one in red I mentioned had been taken in December. So within those 3-4 months, a lot had changed about how I felt, how I looked, and of course the energy was back. I was feeling energetic, I was feeling happy, going back to work. I was able to give much more to my employer because, of course, also I didn't even have any day going to the hospital. The whole of 2019 to date, I haven't gone to the hospital because of feeling unwell or anything. Now, this is what it meant for me. I was therefore also able to come up with a plan on how I wanted my life to be from 2019. And I purposed that I'm going to have work-life harmony. I'm not going to be doing all these things. I actually had even the confidence of telling my employer, hey, look here, my employer, this is what you employed me to do. These are my TORs, Kaidre. If you want me to extend to anything else, let us review the TORs. What did that mean to them? Of course, now they got the guts to bring other people on board. They also had no choice than reviewing my TORs. What did the review mean? Just like it would for me a due, it meant better salary, better remunerations, better appreciation by the organization. I was able to deliver more. At home, what did that do for my family? I was more happier. I was able to connect with my kids better. I would pray with them. I would even go riding and playing football with them. I was much more at peace with myself. What did that do to my social life? I decided to cut all my social networks that were not adding value to me, because now I chose to live a purpose-driven life. I was able to connect with the things that I love. I was able to plan and focus on the things that truly matters to me. As a result of that, therefore, I was able to develop a personal development plan that we have been talking about the whole of this year. Actually, mine is a 5-year personal development plan. And through the personal development plan, then it became my decision-making framework. So everything that I do today, on a day-to-day basis, since January of 2019, it must be something that is taking me to my purpose. It must be something that is taking me to the future that I have planned myself for. So that gave me a lot of time. It decluttered me a lot. So I wouldn't be doing anything. If it's training or consultancy for me, leadership must be the concept. Women and youth must be in the picture. Anything else, however enticing it is, I always say, like Madai, there is something for everyone, and that is what it means. Therefore, when you plan yourself, when you organize yourself, when you know where you're going, how you're getting there, and how much it really declutters your own life. When you look at the next photo here, and I like what Ogu said, in the first photo here, what am I doing? Actually, this photo was just taken a day or 2 days ago where we were still doing the WPP program. Yes, I am not separating myself and delegating my duties as a mother. I am a mother. And therefore, if I am a mother, I have to be present for my child when she needs me. And still, I have other responsibilities to do. So I am trying to create harmony. I know for sure balance gonna be difficult, but I am creating harmony within myself. So yes, I'm speaking to women here, and those women who have babies or will be having babies even as we go on with this leadership journey, please learn to harmonize your life. You will be a mother or you are a mother. Give attention, be present wherever you are. Of course, in the second photo, yes, we are all happy. It's happy time, no work to be done. We are done with the work. Let's celebrate, let's have fun, let's enjoy life. So basically, that is the personal story that I felt I needed to share with you, just to see how important it is to organize yourself. When you get organized, when you have harmony within yourself, you're able to manage your time much better. I don't know if there's any question as I move on and as I wind up in the next few minutes.
Thank you so much, Terry. I think you have 2 more minutes to go.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so if you look there, we are talking of life and work. And we are saying that it's not easy to create an equilibrium. So we are trying to create harmony at the end of the day. These benefits I've already mentioned in the process of explaining using my own very example. So when you have work-life harmony, you have increased productivity, less instances of sickness, you're happier, you are restless, you're active, you know, you are just good to go. So I may not go into much details here. Of course, the opposite of that is what would happen if you don't have a good balanced life or harmonious life. You are sick most of the time, you are stressed most of the time, you have no morale, you have retro energy and all that. So that is part of my personal story that I've already explained there. Signs of unbalanced life, I think must have talked about this in my experience sharing. You stop taking care of yourself. Yes, you have no time for exercise. You stop eating light. You have no time for the gym. You have no time to do the light things. Your mental health, you start feeling clogged. You feel like you're not thinking. You feel like you're not active. You feel incompetent. And you have no clear boundaries between work and, work and life. We'll be discussing this in the breakout sessions, but one of the best ways, of course, to create harmony is to be present. Be present. If you're at work, be present. If you're with your constituents, be present. If you're with your family, be present. It's about being present wherever you are. Then, of course, plan. Have goals, have objectives, know what you wake up to do every day. Stay active. Of course, you have exercise, walk aloud, meet other people around, go for the gym if you love the gym, and do that. Manage yourself. Of course, you have to prioritize. Self-care is very important. Manage your stress levels. Seek psychological counseling should you feel like you're learning out of yourself. It is a strength to seek help. It is not a weakness. Time management, of course, is very important. I also mentioned this, that you need to manage yourself. You need to manage your time very well. Start your day with a clear focus. Know where you want to go. Know the activities that are set for the day. Then start prioritizing those activities in the order of urgency. The things that are urgent to you, then give them first priority. The things that must be done now, do that. Don't try to be a jargon of all trade. Try to organize your day in a manner that gives you harmony and in a manner that helps you to achieve what you intend to achieve every other day. This one, of course, you'll be seeing it also in the presentations that will be shared, but it's just an activity to help you. It's a matrix that helps us to get more organized. In the first quadrant is where you do these things must be done now because they are urgent and they are also very important. So you put your day activities in these quadrants so that you're able to prioritize what is of most significant to you. In the second quadrant, these are the things that can be done later. Why? Because they are not urgent, although they are important. In the third quadrant, we are talking of delegation. These activities are urgent, but they are not very important to you. So delegate that to your colleagues or the people that you're working with. The last one is eliminate. These activities are not urgent and they are not important. Therefore, you don't need them. Throw them out of the box and let them be out there. Just to introduce this concept as a wind up on the self-care, I have talked about this in my personal experience sharing. Self-care is just about taking care of yourself. Physically, take care of your fitness. Mentally, take care of your mental health. Take care of your social health. Take care of your emotional health. Take care of your spiritual health. in the breakout session, we'll be discussing the strategies of how we take care on each of those elements. But you need to take care of yourself as a whole, not just one part. You can't be physically fit, you're spiritually dry. You can't be socially fit while you're physically unfit. You can't be mentally fit when you're socially not unfit. So we have to in wholesome taking care of yourself. That is it. Self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. You must love yourself. You must take care of yourself. You'll be discussing this in the breakout sessions. So what are we saying here? Is that if you keep doing things in the same style, nothing gonna change. So if you want to strike a balance in your life, if you want to create harmony, if you want to change anything about yourself, then you're gonna do things differently. You can't tell us, for example, that you want to be more healthier, more fit, yet you continue eating the things that you've been eating, drinking the things that you've been drinking, doing the things that you've been doing to your body that are not correct. So we are saying here that we must learn to do things differently if we're expecting to have different results. And it's up to each one of us to try to have a sort of an action plan of how we try to be more harmonious with ourselves. We try to create more balance within ourselves. So in conclusion, therefore, that work-life balance and work-life harmony and self-care are very important, not just to women, but to all of us, not just in the context of political leadership, but in the context of life in general. We must learn to create harmony within ourselves by being present, particularly in whatever it is that you're doing. When you're home, kindly step and be at home. That is it. You cannot be everywhere 24/7. Don't be available to everyone 24/7. Analyze the activities that are of importance to you, that are taking you to your mission, that are taking you to your vision, and concentrate on those activities. Delegate what you can delegate, eliminate what you don't have to. Kindly take care of yourself. It is the best gift that you can give to yourself and to the world. Thank you so much. Rachel, back to you, and thank you so much for listening.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, my people, this is what it means to really get experience and expert advice from facilitators who have been there, who have done it. Wow, wow. Please, let's all have our videos on and appreciate our facilitator. It's been hot. It's been good information that we all need, information that we need to ensure that, Terry, we have this work-life harmony. I will stop saying balance because now it's harmony that as much as we have all these...
Terry, show me this, Terry.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you so much. Wow, amazing, amazing. Dr. Terry, thank you so much. We appreciate that. I can see from the chat, amazing. This is good. Someone is saying, I've been taking too much time. I have realized that I take a lot of time in work. With your message to us, I will try to balance. Thank you so much, Gladys. That is good news that yes, you have now realized that you need to actually have a balance and not spend all the time at work or spend all the time with family and really not be able to do the work that we are supposed to do. So thank you so much, Dr. Terry. Allow me not even to allow us to go to the group sessions because I know, our guest speaker, Anne Carrier, is here. Just allow me to call upon our guest speaker, Anne Carrier, to speak to us, to share with us also. And then from that, then we will have a panel session, maybe to throw in 1 or 2 questions before we go to our group work to really think through about what Dr. Terry has spoken to us and what Anne is going to also share with us. So allow me to now invite Anne. Anne Carrier, are you there? We want to combine
Yes,
the
I
two
am,
sessions.
Rachel.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Joanne, are you able to share with us, or I can share from my side? Allow me to share from my side. We are so happy to have you, Anne. It's a pleasure. And Joanne, are you able to share Anne's bio, if that's okay, Joanne? As you take a breather for 1 minute, Joanne will share with us the bio for Anne Carrier. Joanne, are you there, Miss Joanne?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Miss Joanne. Thank you so much. Yes, so colleagues, we'll go directly into our guest speaker who will be able to share with us, also just to build up on that topic of work-life harmony. I will not say work-life balance anymore, work-life harmony. So Anne Carey is a passionate organizational consultant dedicated to amplifying the performance of individuals, executives, teams, and organizations. She has dedicated herself to helping people create meaning in their work by creating meaning in their own lives, which results in motivated employees, customer commitment, and sterling bottom line performance. She excels at digging deep to gain valuable insights into her clients and often draws them into uncharted territories for their growth and development. Her powerful intuition, blended with her ability to shift perspective, allows her clients to successfully craft and implement innovative solutions towards their advancement. She is one of the few international certified emotional intelligence coaches in the African region with accreditation from the 6 Seconds EQ Network and International Coaching Federation. She has positively impacted many leaders and organizations in Africa with her emotional intelligence proficiency. Anne is a leadership and a management graduate and currently the chairperson of the County Governance Watch, CGW board. Thank you so much, Anne, and we're so honored and so happy to have you with us. Please, the floor is yours just to build into our module on work-life balance, and what now we are learning is work-life harmony. So please, the stage is yours and you have 15 to 20 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Good morning, everyone. If you can see me, just wave, and if you can hear me.
Yes, we
I'm
can
so
see
glad
you.
to be here with you. And like Dr. Terry said, when you're presenting last, your work is very easy. You are summarizing what everyone else has said. Do I have the permissions to share the screen?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can share your screen.
Great, thank you. There we are. I think we can all see it. If you can see it, give me a thumbs up.
Yes, we can see.
Thank you for the elaborate introduction. I won't go back to and I'm glad that we are talking the same language with Dr. because I'm starting off by saying there's no such thing as work-life balance. Because work-life balance helps you to think about a scale and 50-50, you know, that I must be this 50% and I must be this 50%, or in any given day, I must divide my time in this exact parameters. So we are saying it is all life. So where is the balance that we are talking about, or the harmony? It has to be within you. So because we've heard a lot from Dr. Terry, I would like us to start with a small exercise. I will go to the chat and post a link that I want you to all get into. And I think you can see it on the chat. I want you to open it, and in the next 5 minutes or so, I want you to do some little introspection and ask yourself, how is my life looking at? It will give you Once you open the link, you're going to see some different areas of your life. If you can just go to that link, open it up. Once you open, click on where you're seeing the icon for home. Once you click on the icon for home, it will show you where to start the self-assessment. So this is just a spotlight about the way your life currently is. And it's an assessment from yourself to yourself. So you're not going to share that with anybody, so make it as honest as possible.
Sorry for that.
So open the link and yes, open the link and just go click the home icon, and very quickly it will be giving you on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you currently gauge how you're doing or how you'd like to be doing in all these areas. We are also different, so the weight one of us will apply to one of the areas of our lives will not be what somebody else will apply. So the question is, how would you like to be performing, and at this point in time, how do you gauge yourself? So I'll give us some 2-3 minutes to do that. Don't overthink it. It's once you're overthinking, you're tending to get philosophical. We have said, let's think like a 2-year-old. As you just look at yourself, how are you performing in all these different areas of your life? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We've listened to a lot of presentations this morning and PowerPoints. I wanted us to get a little bit practical. And from this will form the basis from where you'll start off now on bringing in the harmony. So be as honest as possible with yourself. There's your family, there's your friends, there's spiritual, there is career, there is money. How are you doing in all this? There's health. And health, we are talking about physical, mental, and all emotional. So give yourself a quick assessment from yourself to yourself. Everybody is different, so there's no right and wrong. So at the end of it, you should be able to see the wheel completed with your result, and so it will show you, it will have joined all those results and give you a feedback. Once you're through, get onto the chat and just tell us, how are you, use one word to describe what you've seen as you gauged yourself. Is it excellent? Are you happy? Are you unhappy? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Because just life balance for us with and women, it becomes even more critical for us to bring in that harmony. We are the ones that hold society together. And as we go to the chat, I'll be requesting Rachel to be reading what people are saying on the chat. As you finish your wheel, and once you're done, you can email it to yourself, you can download the PDF, and it can form the basis of where you start working on bringing in that harmony. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we said, because it's you assessing yourself. Yes. Yes. Be honest as possible with yourself, because it's you to you. We don't. Anyone who is done, you can just type.
I'm not sure whether it is only on my side.
Your one word.
Hello. When I open the link, it seems only to provide me with a page indicating my will, but the sections to fill out is not coming up.
Did you see the icons that says home? There's somewhere on the left hand side, there's an icon that says home. If you click,
oh, I see.
Then you will go down on the wheel, and it should be saying, I can give you time to do that. It's just out the woman juggling. But we start from assessing yourself. I think this is the critical part. Great. Once you're done, share with us your word. Once you look at your will and the first word that clicks in your mind. Even if it is wololo, just type it there in the chat.
I was asking for something. Hello? It wants someone to enter the question code.
Hey, Anne, I'm lost.
Yes.
I'm also low.
The page just shows my will of my life. I can't see any more.
Yes, and there is a part that is
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I lost the speaker for a little bit. Once you get onto that page that shows the wheel, there's an icon that shows home. It may be different on phone. I don't know, depending on the devices you're using. But there's an icon called home, and once you click on that, it should bring something in orange on the wheel saying start my self-assessment. If we are all not able to get there, I will of course share the link, and you can do this maybe in your own time. Are there any of us who are good with it? You can give us a thumbs up. We see how many of us are good to go. Those who are already into the wheel and feeling it. Yes, Rachel, that would help. I can stop sharing for a while.
I think so. Maybe just to show
Yes.
how it looks like.
Yes.
I don't know whether we can all see. So
That-
once you click on the screen, this is what comes up. Then you go to home. Once you click on that link, so once you're able to click on home, then this is what comes in. So you click on that, and then you're able to see all these different aspects. So assuming for health, this is just an example. I click on 7. So that is how it would look like. Then you go to the preview. Yeah, so that's how health look like. Then it goes to career, assuming career is 7 also. So you go back to the circle and then it moves up. Yeah. So that's, I just wanted to share that's how it looked like. So I think this is what, Anne, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And I think this is something we can be able to do not just in this session, but maybe throughout the day or later. And I think it's helpful. Yeah. Thank you. Stop sharing now so that you can continue sharing.
Thank you. I saw a question on someone who's talking about where they're seeing the coaches. You can just go and click no thanks. Below it will show no thanks, then you can now go and start the self-assessment. But once you do that, it should be able to give you a rough idea. If there's anybody who has done and shared, Rachel, you can be reading them out as we go back to our presentation.
Okay, I think I did mine. And yeah, it's just telling me that I need to pull up my source. So it's a good self-evaluation, kind of stopping to just think through. So there are areas there that I need to work on.
Yes.
I think someone also says they will need to work on.
That's
Yes, please go ahead.
Any other comments, Rachel? You can read them out.
No other comment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm glad that we've understood it's about bringing in the harmony and not really a balance, and that harmony has to be inside of you. It can't come from outside. So I want to concentrate on how we bring that harmony within us. Does this look like any one of us? This looks a lot like me, and from what Dr. Terry shared, we can see this is the reality of the lives that we are living now. And of course, this whole drama has been compounded by COVID as well, because a lot of things have changed, where we work, and how we balance all this. So that has also thrown in a spanner in the works and brought a lot of instability. I want you to look at this circle. And when you don't have the balance, when you don't have that harmony,
we build up what we call stress. So there's good stress and bad stress. So today we are talking about the bad stress that can build up for us, especially as women, because of that lack of harmony. Where does the stress comes from? The stress comes from you feeling that all the things that you're supposed to do, you don't have the capacity to do it. So it builds stress. So I want you to look at what goes on in your body, what goes on in your mind when you're stressed, what goes on with your emotions, okay? What goes on physically, okay? How many of those are you counting that you experience? Dr. Terry has just shared with us her experience on how all this built up for her to a point where she had to seek, medical help. So as you look at this circle, how many of these can you identify with? Again, you can put it in the chat. You can say 5, 2, 1, 7. There's a time I was talking to a group of women and most of them were saying, which ones don't I have? Not which ones do I have? Because they had almost all of them, okay? So these are the things that happen with us when we are stressed, when we lack that harmony. And of course, you see, it affects our performance. This is the thing we don't realize in the long run. You feel like you are very busy, but you could be busy harming yourself. You could be busy, but producing zero results. So now, because we want to be effective leaders and effective women, effective human beings, we need to know how to deal with this situation, okay? Looking at us as women, we are more at risk when it comes to the effects of this lack of harmony. So I just picked a few statistics that could be important to us, okay? Women, we report higher levels of stress than men. All the studies that have been done since 2007, it is women who report higher levels of stress than men, okay? 1/3 of women are affected by common mental disorders, depression and anxiety, and this is what keeps on taking us to the hospital. And we've been given a very good example. You go, you run all these tests and they come out negative, then you ask, I'm still feeling unwell. What is the problem? I don't know how many of you have been through that. I have been through that, so I know. Unipolar depression occurs twice as common in women. Unipolar depression is that depression, serious depression that makes you cut off from society, lock yourself away, It's the second leading cause of the global disability burden. Okay? When we look at older adult mental disorders, majority of the ones that have them are women, the dementia and all these others. And lastly, we are saying most of the depression causes are related to our gender-based roles. We are the ones who mother children, we are the ones who nurture people in the home and outside, and all these roles that we have, they make us more at risk. So this is something that should always be at the back of our minds when we are thinking about leadership, not so much about the big things we have to do, but also taking care of ourselves so that we can continue to be effective. Okay. So the theme for my session, because I wanted to make it something catchy that you will not forget. There's a quote that says, if you don't want to burn out, stop living like you're on fire. If you don't want to burn out, stop living like you're on fire. You've watched in the movies, if you've not seen it in real life, someone who's on fire, how they're running around and beating themselves all over the place. And a lot of times, some of us feel like this. From the moment you get out of your bed, sometimes it doesn't even stop because even at night, you're unable to sleep, so your mind is still working. And so we are living like we're on fire. And I'm looking at us who want to be political leaders, who have a lot to do before 2022 and beyond. If we don't want to burn out now before we start, then we have to stop living like we're on fire. So we'll be looking at what are these things that we should be doing so that we stop living like we're on fire. There is the wheel of life, and you will go and look at it slowly. But these are the areas we are saying that we need to bring in harmony. And they're in a wheel. They're in a wheel because there's none that is more important than the other. It's about bringing in that harmony into these different areas of our lives. Okay? We have our families, we have our social life and our friends, we have our romantic life, we have our career life, we have finances, we have fun and recreation, we have personal development, the environment that we live in, our spirituality and our health. So once you go back to that link, once we are done, you'll be able to do this and then come up with a plan of how am I going to get this wheel into a place that it can move. Rachel, I don't know when you did yours, the shape that came out, we are calling it a wheel because it's supposed to be moving. When you put it on the road, the wheel is supposed to move. I don't know if the shape that was produced by your wheel is one that can roll, that can actually get moving. So when you see that shape looking, like it's really, really out of place, that it can't go round, then it means that there's some places that we need to work on. Okay, I only want us to have 10 tips for today. Once we meet next, we'll see how we can improve upon this. The first one, for us as leaders, let us practice mindful leadership. A lot of times we are focused on our daily little tasks and we forget the bigger picture. We forget about why did I really want to get into leadership in the first place? What is this outcome that I want for my community, for my people, for my family, for myself, for my county, for my ward? Okay? That is being mindful, because when these stressors come, but you're still focused on your big picture and you know your why, then it will be very easy. So practicing mindful leadership starts by you. Am I doing this? What is the outcome that I want? Why did I even want to get into leadership in the first place? So even as all these things begin to happen in your life and you're focused there, it will be giving you some strength to be able to withstand the stress, okay? So practicing mindful leadership. And part of this is also being present in the moment. Let's not look too much every time into the future, living in the present moment. And this was mentioned also by the speaker before me. Our second tip on bringing in that harmony, on how to manage our stress factors, work on your mindset. Now we have two different kinds of mindset. You can either have a fixed mindset or you can have a growth mindset. And from this you can see that the difference is far and wide. And as women, sometimes we are conditioned to avoid challenges. You say, this one has become too much for me, I'm going to leave this for the men. We are saying, instead of having a fixed mindset where you say, this challenge is too difficult for me, let's see challenges as opportunities. Inside this challenge that has presented itself to me, how can I turn that around? Because really all opportunities are actually hidden in challenges. You would never be able to see an opportunity unless you can actually look at a challenge from a different angle, okay? Let's not shy away from things that we don't know. And that's why I'm so happy with this session. We are saying we might not know all these things before we start, but we are going to work on them, okay? Acknowledge and embrace your weaknesses and say, this is what I need. I need help in communication. I need help in branding. I need help in drawing a strategic plan for myself as a leader. I need help in knowing how to manage myself, self-leadership, before I get into leading others, okay? A fixed mindset will be unable to handle criticism and feedback. And we are saying, let us develop a growth mindset where we learn to give and receive constructive criticism. Every time someone tells us something, and women, this is a weakness, we think it's a personal attack. But if we look at it differently, why did that person tell me this? Okay, whether it's true or not, how do I turn it around and use it to grow? If they told me I gave a bad speech, if they told me that I didn't speak very well in that meeting, how do I turn this around instead of saying this person hates me? How do I turn it around? By tuning into my growth mindset and said, that is what I was told, the next one I'll do much better. And so you can see they're all there, focused on proving yourself. On this other side, we are focusing on the process, not the end result. I may not have made it this time, but what have I learned from this experience? Last time I helped somebody else to campaign and they won. So definitely there's something I know how to do. So this time I want to do it for myself. So we are saying, let's work on our mindset. And as we go back, because you'll have all this information, you can slowly go and see which parts of these things do I need to work on for myself. I'll be moving fast in the essence of time. Number 3, and something that we also don't like focusing on because sometimes it is painful, sometimes it's not a good side of ours that we want to look at. How do you track your stresses? Okay? So the way I started by doing this is by simply just keeping a journal, and tracking what are these things that stress me and how do I react? Because most of the times when the stress comes, we don't take time to respond, we usually react, okay? Whenever things like this happen, how have I been reacting to them? What behaviors have I been displaying? What things have I been saying and doing when these things happen? So track your stressors. Once you know what they are, then you can always preempt and say, when this thing comes, because I know I react like this, I'm going to change it. Instead of reacting, I'm going to respond. And sometimes that response will need for you to have some time. So track your stressors. What are these things that are stressing me? What are the patterns that I'm observing over time? Yeah, because if we keep on doing that, then it builds up into something else. Once you're able to track them, then you can always plan for them. What makes me angry? What makes me afraid? What makes me behave in this? Recognizing the patterns. So you start by tracking. Nowadays, we even have a lot of apps that you can use on your phone, mood trackers and things like this, and they can keep some information for you. And as you track them, then you'll be coming up with a plan of how to deal with it. Number 4, related to number 3, is pausing. A lot of times this is very difficult for us, especially as women. We want to respond then, there, at that time when something has happened. And if you look at all these stresses, most of them are related to our interpersonal relationships, how we relate with other people. So we are saying we need to pause. Yes, this has happened. Do I have to respond at this particular minute? Let me pause. And when you pause, you go back to number 1. You ask yourself, what is the outcome I want from this experience? If I react in this way, what will it mean for me at the end? So pausing means you pause to ask yourself, what is the eventual thing that I want? What is my goal out of achieving all this? Then it will help you to be able to pause and to make the right decisions before you proceed. Very, very important. Again, easier said than done. And once all these are skills that can be learned, nobody is born knowing how to do these things. So once you start putting them into practice, within a month, 2 months, 3 months, they become a part of your life. So pausing, very important. Someone has spoken about you on social media and you want to immediately put out your own, and you are there typing in capital letters, and then what is the outcome? Before you do that, ask yourself, what is the outcome? Pause, even if it will mean waiting a day or 2 or a week, but focus on the outcome. Number 5, set limits. Again, not easy to do. Setting limits boundaries, okay? You find yourself in 24 hours, you are in 15 meetings, and when you look at the total, the total value you are getting from this is fire, you're on fire. Sometimes someone just calls and say, hey, there's a political meeting somewhere. Before you even ask what the meeting is about, you have stood up, carried your notebook, and run with them. When you get to the door is when you're asking, na hii mkutano ilikuwa ya nini? And so you end up living like you're on fire and getting burnt out. Set limits. Set limits, again, coming from the beginning of what are my goals? What do I want to achieve? And we've heard from Dr. Terry. Sometimes you have to subtract a lot of things. Are all these relationships in my life beneficial? Are they helping me to achieve my objective? Are they leading me to that outcome that I want? So once you realize no, then you slowly start. Do I have to answer every, call? Do I have to answer every email now? Do I have to be in all these WhatsApp groups? Set limits. Set limits. And for us as political leaders, set limits on your time. Because when will you balance this thing? When will you bring harmony in this wheel? So you need to balance your time. You need to balance your finances. You need to balance your social media usage, and you need to balance your personal time. So for that, you remember you have to create a plan. And I'm glad that we've already talked about strategic planning. So now part of that strategy will be, how do I manage myself? Because I can't lead others if I can't lead myself. Okay. Making health-related commitments, very, very important, and it brings a big difference. We need to exercise all these things we know. The problem is, are we committed to them? Do we have a plan? Because when you do these things, it has a lot of scientific value to your body. When you're living a healthy life, you're actually releasing what they call the feel-good hormones. The feel-good hormones, the endorphins. And you just generally feel happy. I don't know if you've taken a jog in the morning before you go to work, how that feels. It's beautiful. When you're not doing them, you're actually building up your stress hormones, the adrenaline and the cortisol. And of course, they're making you more and more stressed. So let's make some health-related commitments. You don't have to do all of them at the same time. You say, this month, I'm going to focus on this one. This next month, I'm going to add another one. So it's something gradual. Don't try to do it all at the same time. Don't try to be... Exercising doesn't mean spending 3-4 hours a day exercising. 20 minutes done consistently every day is enough. 30 minutes. So you can create time for this, but it will help you to bring in that harmony. Keep a to-do list. Again, this is getting into planning and organizing, and I'm glad that you've already learned about strategic planning. So breaking down your bigger strategy into smaller chunks every day, every week, every month, and tracking them. It helps you to know what is important and what is not. And once you've done it and crossed off something from your list, it actually feels very good, and you feel, wow, I've achieved something. So again, there are so many tools you can use around this. There's none that is bad. You can keep a physical diary, you can keep it on your phone, on your laptop, but have a to-do list. And every day, once you start, it becomes a habit. Every day you say, what do I have to do today? And don't do 100 things. Just put 5 major things. Then you'll be breaking down into chunks, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. Okay? Keep a to-do list. This is really helpful for me. I keep both in my phone and I still have the physical. I'm those people who still believe in having a diary next to you all the time, that you write, I've done this, so that when you cross it off, you really, really feel good. 8, maintain respect. As a leader, your biggest job is about making others feel valued and respected. And as a leader, of course, people are going to differ with you. Don't take it as a personal attack. Bless you, whoever is sneezing. So don't take it as a personal attack. Maintain respect. Maintain respect for your fellow leaders, and start by maintaining respect for yourself, because respect is earned. Once you give it, you also get it. So respect yourself, respect others. And that will again give you huge mileage as a leader. Okay. Number 9, changes will come, and we are saying face them, don't run away from them. Okay. Don't freeze and hide. Face change. And we're saying innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. And we started off by saying that inside those changes, inside those difficult things, like now there's so much happening for you. Some are asking, which party will I join? Where will I ride from? What will I do? So there are all these changes, but face them and look for the opportunities in there. This thing looks negative right now. How can I turn it into being positive? Right now we have COVID. I may not be able to do physical meetings, but how can I turn it around? How can I use social media? We heard this morning from the speaker who talked about communication. How do I turn this round in my favor? So face change. Face change. In our personal lives as women, we also go through a lot of changes. In our family setups, in our social settings. When you become a mother, when you become a mother the second time, it's still a different change. And all these structures that happen in our life, ask yourself, inside this change, what is my opportunity? How can I seize it? And lastly, let us support each other. As women who are in this political space, how can we then form networks? And we have a very good example here with Fawe. Yeah, women supporting women. Let's support each other. What forums can we have? Where can we come and discuss these issues that are bothering us? How have you been handling people who are, talking badly about you? How have you been handling men who come and use the feminine thing to bring you down? So as you support each other and share these experiences, then you're able to bring in the balance. I love this. When I think about work-life balance, it's not a perfect day where you get to spend the right amount of time with your children, with your spouse, with all this. It is difficult to achieve that, especially in the space that you are in now as politicians and the one that you're coming into. But start working on it. Make those moments count. Bring in quality into all these things and learn how to live in the present. So it's not a 50-50 balance, like we've said, it's a harmony. You might be at home with your kids only 1 hour a day, but in that 1 hour, do you still come home with your laptop and chase them away from you? Or do you say, this is 1 hour, it's for my children? Do you get into bed with your phone up to the last minute when you're reading those negative things being said about you and your party? You will not sleep. You'll get insomnia. So what are these habits that we can start practicing that will help us to bring in the harmony? Thank you very much. I will stop at that, and if there are any questions.
Wow, 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 wow. Today clearly is the best day. And just like you all said with Dr. Terry, when you're doing day 5, everything has already been concretized. So it's a good way to actually end the academy. So we thank you so much. And I've just been listening to you like, whatever you keep saying, it keeps coming like, this is new, this one I like, this one I like, this one I like. Oh, thank you so, so, so very much. Colleagues, please let's have our videos and just appreciate our guest speaker. She's talked about things that we have been thinking through the whole week and how to really concretize them. And thank you so much, and we appreciate you. We value you. We are so excited. Thank you so, so, so very much. What you've shared, to be very honest, is very practical. You know, the way you're just bringing it out and just making it so practical and looking at those baby steps. What do you do? I like what you said, that the best moment about us is just having our own self-reflection and telling yourself that, you know what, this one I can't do. This one, I don't even need to focus my energy on that. I don't need it. It's not going to help me. And the example you gave, like there's a rally, let's go. Then you arrive at the rally and you're like, huh? What was the rally about? So really giving those practical aspects in terms of even just our women in politics. Do you have to attend all rallies? Do you have to attend all meetings? Are there meetings that you can send, for instance, your personal assistant or someone or your agent that you really, really have faith in? Do you have to attend all meetings, or are some meetings you can send your agent to attend on your behalf and who will also speak on your behalf? You know, someone who really understands you and understands your manifesto and your agenda. So thank you so, so, so much. At the end of the day, I think what you and Dr. Terry are saying is that we are women, we are mothers, we are wives, we are sisters. At the end of the day, there has to be a harmony so that all of these aspects about us really coexist together and we become a wholesome person. So I don't know if there are any questions in the group. Participants, if there are any questions, please, I would like us to just shoot those questions either for Dr. Terry or our guest speaker, or just to thank them for participating and sharing with us their expertise on that. I don't know if there are questions or comments. I will give two. Before now, Ongus will share with us the slide where we have the questions that will usher us into the group discussion. Any comments, any feedback? I can see from the chat, great presentation, very informative. I'm encouraged. Jepchumba is saying this is very, very timely. I think it's time to rethink about my life wholesomely. Oh, that's Michael Longus. Okay, Michael, thank you. We get to note that. Very good feedback coming out there. Learning a whole lot. This is real academy. I'm learning a lot. That is Jepchumba. Thank you so much. Our leaders, we believe in you and we're here to support you. Thank you so much. I just want to thank you for highlighting the stress and depression. I think that is for you, and I now know how to think wholesomely. Thank you. Wow, that is Esna saying that. Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm now able to think. Wow, 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 Mrs. Anne, we love it. Thank you. Very good. That is Susan Akoya. Colleagues, this is amazing. Dr. Mary Goretti, you have your hand up. And then we have, yes, Dr. Mary Goretti, please go ahead.
I just want to say that I feel like I'm from the hospital with Anne and Terry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Mary Goretti. And I have Mutomi. Mutomi, your hand is raised up. Please go ahead.
Yes,
Please
Rachel, just allow me to share my experience in just 5 sentences.
Absolutely.
I feel like I might help somebody because I can see most of our participants are young. When I got the job I went it with the gusto, like from private sector, with a lot of putting systems here, policies, sitting long hours, having my lunch on my desk, arriving very early and being the last to leave. And not many years ago, my back caved in. And I suffered for years. I saw every specialist you can think about in Kenya until one of them sat me down. And we had a long chat over my career, my life, the journey I've walked, the time I spent on traffic. And he told me what you need to do. It is just to change your lifestyle. And taking drugs, and like I used to take painkillers worth 1,000 shillings daily dose for me even to sleep. So when I reorganized my life, I changed my chair, I committed to a consistent gym workout, changed my diet, changed my car, changed a workstation so that I can sit and stand simultaneously. Oh, now I'm quite firm and strong, and my back got healed without any medication. So it's about balance and to let go so many things, so many commitments, and it worked for me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Mutomi.
Yes, Rachel.
Thank you so much. Barasa, please go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to share that people may be wondering why I left teaching in the university. People think while you are working in the university, you are in a lucrative job. When I was teaching at the University of Nairobi, I was also doing what we call moonlighting. You are moving from one campus to another, moving from one lecture theater to the other. I almost got depression and I said, no, I have just to move away from Nairobi after working there for 17 years. That's the reason why I had to relocate from Nairobi to Bungoma, just because it's like I was firefighting, moving everywhere, just looking for jobs. I'm going to Karen to teach at the School of Strategic Studies, going to Jomo Kenyatta, going to do some lectures in the Department of Human Resource. I was even just moving to Catholic, and I said, no, this is not the life I want to. I could hardly have any sleep, hardly have any time even for my family. So I decided just to relocate and even told my family we're going to go and stay in the rural area. And I've realized that I've been able to have a delicate balance. It's not easy, but I have a delicate balance. I'm very comfortable. And I want to just say we need to have a delicate balance or harmony between the body, mind, and soul. That will bring you peace. You can't chase for money every time. You can't chase for communication with everybody. You cannot manage. So we need just to have a meeting with ourselves, each of us, listen to our own inner voice, which are called the moral conscience, then find out where you have gone extra and where you need to shape. We are bringing up young people who have a more serious problem and they require a lot of what Anne is telling us and what Dr. Terry is telling us. These are young people, including our own children, who spend 3/4 of their time on phone doing chatting. So I don't know who is going to help us out of that quagmire. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Barasa. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And I think what you have been telling us through and through is that we spend a lot of time on social media, and that social media time, just like today, and as our guest speaker, Kentis, talked about, she said social media is a very important and powerful tool. So how do we turn, for instance, the time that we as young people and the young people in the room who spend so much time on social media, how can they turn that into something that can add value, into something that can really propel them in their political journey? So that is very key, and we thank you also for bringing that up. You brought that up not once, not twice, and that is one thing that really we need to ensure that we keep checking out on. So colleagues, allow me now. Joanne, are we ready to break into the breakout sessions? And just to let you know, Anne, we are going to go into breakout session. We have specific questions, especially and picking up from the presentation that you have been able to share with us and also with Dr. Terry. We would like to request the participants to really now go into those groups and really come up with those specific strategies, especially for women in politics. What are those strategies that we want to see that can really ensure that at the end of the day, then the work-life harmony, I'm very careful not to say balance, the work-life harmony then is able to be achieved. So Terry, okay, I think I found it. I found the question. Allow me to share, Joanne. I think it's on slide 26, but I can also share it from my side. Allow me to just share the screen on what we are going to do in our group works. So we'll have 4 groups. Joanne, I don't know if that is able to work today. So we'll have 4. So group 1 is how do you take care of your physical and sensory health? I know Dr. Terry has already talked about it, and Anne, our guest speaker, has already spoken about it. So basing that in reference to women in political participation. So how do you take care of the physical and sensory health? Group 2 will work on how do you take care of your spiritual and emotional health. Group 3 will work on how do you take care of your mental health, which is very important and very key. And group 4, how do you take care of the social self-care? So we'll break into the 4 group sessions. Joanne, if you could maybe just, we can share this in the different group sections so that they can be able to have this. And just like we have been doing throughout the week, get a representative who will come back when we caucus, who will just present from the group, one person who can do that. So group 1, how do you take care of the physical and sensory health? Group 2, how do you take care of your spiritual and emotional health? Group 3, how do you take care of your mental health? And group 4, how do you take care of your social self-care? So those are the 4 questions. Joanne, if you can hear me, please come through.
Hi, Rachel. I'm setting the groups. How many minutes do you want?
20 minutes for the group. It's now 12:02. So if you come back after 20 minutes, then we'll have the 4 group leads to just share with us from the group discussions.
Yes.
Barasa, are we on the right track?
Yeah, we are on the right track, my sister.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Joanne, we are ready to get into the group. Joanne, we are ready.
Okay, I'm sending you to meeting rooms now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you so
Welcome.
much.